Welcome to Hyrox Academy. This is probably our first long-form content video. You probably follow this channel from the shorts we post from Hy Rox. This is something I've been planning to do for a long time, just haven't really got around to making long-form content. So this video, as you can see by the title, it is about how to train for Hy Rox, depending on strengths and weaknesses. Maybe go over how I'm training for a Hy Rox myself based on my strengths and weaknesses, and then we'll just deep dive into that. But before we get into the video, please hit that like button, and if you ain't already following, then please hit that subscribe button as well. Let's get this channel to 1,000 subscribers if we can already. So yeah, this video is going to be probably me rambling on. Just a one take video, no cuts, no editing, just me sat here talking. So hopefully you enjoy this video. If there's videos you want me to cover or topics you want me to cover, then please chuck it in the comments below, and I'll look to start getting some long form content out to you guys more often. Big one I've got is wall balls. So wall ball techniques, how to train for wall balls, more efficiency and stuff like that. So that's a video I've got planned for the future. Might do one on burpees as well, because burpees is a massive one. The more efficient you are, the easier they are, of course, and exactly the same with wall balls. Before we dive into this video, my background. So I've pretty much played sports my whole life growing up: rugby, football, swimming, all the way through school. So yeah, I swam up until I was like, I don't know, high school. So that was like 14, 15, 16. And then I started playing ice hockey when I was 8. And then as I started getting older, they started colliding on weekends. So I had to swim in gala or play hockey. It got to a point where I had to start picking what sport I wanted to play. So I went down the ice hockey route, played ice hockey from 8 all the way up until now. I'm now 35, still playing. So yeah, and then obviously 2012, when I was serving in the military, I found CrossFit. I was basically looking for a way to stay fit in the military for my job, and I come across CrossFit. So I got into CrossFit 2012, basically used it as a method of fitness, because originally it come from military personnel, created it. Basically it is pretty much just how the military train on a daily basis. Like if I go to work every morning, we'll do some kind of circuit training, and it's pretty much just CrossFit. It's what we've done forever, but they've decided to put a name on it, and someone decided to copyright it and create CrossFit. So yeah, basically started doing that, and then it led into competing. Pretty much competed at a high level, went to regionals, semi-finals, sanctionals, pretty much until lockdown, and then I got injured, done my back, which put me out for a year, went into lockdown, that affected training, and then basically just hit 30 and body went downhill. And I was also coaching as well, so I'm like 2016 I started coaching up until probably again lockdown, end of lockdown. I was coaching online and in person. I'm now just doing online. You guys may be following the program also. Link will be in the description box below. But yeah, that's just quite a little overview of myself. So myself being a more power output athlete with regards to ice hockey. you're looking at like 30 to 40 second shifts. So you're going out, skating as hard as you can, 30, 40 seconds, coming off, resting, going back on. And pretty much the same with CrossFit as well. It's more like power output, power endurance, maybe a little bit of endurance, but more power output sport. So that's why I excelled in that, because naturally I am just a sprinter, fast twitch muscle athlete. So yeah, when it comes to Hyrox for myself, it's more training that aerobic capacity, building that aerobic base. So a weekly split for myself is Monday I go to the gym, like strength work, conditioning pieces, etc. Tuesday is a running session. So normally hit like intervals, threshold run, threshold paces, etc. Wednesday, again, it's normally a gym session, strength, conditioning, and also hit a bike ride, a watt bike or road bike, depending. Thursday, it's normally a swim. Yeah, normally just a swim, like a recovery day is Thursdays, a swim. Friday is then a gym session, strength conditioning, like more gym pieces. Saturday's a long run. So I hit my like long aerobic, slow zone 1 pace, zone 2 pace, like runs on Saturdays, and Sunday is normally like a long bike ride as well. So that's pretty much what a week looks like for myself, being a power output athlete. My focus is more on the endurance side, getting the miles in the legs, building the endurance, because if you don't know, Hyrox is mainly a endurance sport race, power endurance. So that's why you need to have that endurance base at least, and then obviously the bigger that endurance base, the quicker you recover as well, not just in races but between sessions. So especially if you hit like 2 sessions a day, you want to recover as quick as possible before that second session. And obviously the bigger your aerobic base, the better. So you got to think of it as a pyramid. That bottom is your aerobic baseline. And obviously the more solid that baseline is, the more you can build on it. Just like a house, if the foundations are rubbish, the house is just going to crumble. It's exactly the same when it comes to your fitness. So you want to have that aerobic base. So that is if your strength is power output, you want to look at building that baseline of aerobic conditioning. And then on the other side of the spectrum, if you're an endurance athlete, so at the moment there's a lot of like marathon runners, triathletes coming into the Hyrox space. For them mainly, it's more strength. So you're looking at that strength side now. So just working on building the basic strength. It depends on how far out from a race you are. If you plan to race next year, then perfect. You just want to be doing pure strength. So like the squat, deadlift, bench, shoulder press, building those compound lifts, and that's strength, while also doing bodybuilding movements, accessory work. Some people like to call it, but it is just bodybuilding. It's all good building these massive muscle groups, so the hamstrings, glutes, lats, with these compound movements. But you need to be doing these smaller movements, these bodybuilding movements, which will help basically build the smaller muscles, the ligaments that support these main muscle groups. So it's all good doing compound movements, but you also want to be making sure you're working the smaller muscle groups that attach to these bigger muscle groups, just so it all comes together and basically just gives you a better structure, foundation to work off. But again, and then as you get closer to the race, you want to start working on the more race-specific training. So compound movements, the further out you are, build those strengths while also doing the bodybuilding movements. Also touching on like the race movements, so you can still do the sled pushes, sled drags, etc. Sled pushes, you could do like single leg, so just 1 foot at a time, nice and slow pushing, so basically single leg movements. You can do it sideways, so just like lean onto the sled, walk sideways. So you just work in the anterior, interior, anterior muscles, etc. When it comes to pulls, again, you can do seated, single arm pulls, so like one arm at a time, sit on the floor against the wall, so you ain't like walking, using your legs. Again, you're building that foundation. So as you get closer to a race, when you start doing race-specific training, you've basically got that strength, that foundation, which will then start carrying over from there then. So yeah, overall, if you're a strength athlete, power output, focus on the endurance stuff, because the gym stuff shouldn't be an issue for you. You may want to just start doing like the longer, just getting muscle endurance in. So if you want to do like weighted lunges, the wall balls maybe, if you haven't been doing CrossFit, for myself, 100 wall balls is nothing. We pretty much do, you can easily do 300-400 wall balls in a session, in a normal training session in CrossFit, and especially as, depending on what level you are, especially for myself, I trained a lot with a 30-pound wall ball, because that's what the elites were doing. So when it comes to Hy Rox and you're touching like a 9 kilogram or 6 kilogram wall ball, it's nothing. You can just do 100 wall balls anyway. But you may want to touch on that if you haven't done that side in before. Again, lunges, burpees, you can do stuff like that as well, just a touch on technique, work on it. You can put it into conditioning pieces, which we'll dive into more in another video on like programming, etc. But this is just like how to train overall. So yeah, that is if you're if you're training in the gym. And then endurance athlete, spend more time in the gym. The further out from races, compound movements, deadlifts, squats. Make sure you're doing lunges, reverse lunges, RDLs, Nordic curls, stuff like that. Just building strength, bodybuilding. And then obviously still doing the odd runs. Like I said, you've been running your whole life probably, or a long period of life. That's why you're an endurance athlete. You've done marathons, triathlons, so you should have that foundation. You need to work on this strength now. So you can still touch on the running, swimming, biking if you're a triathlete, but focus mainly on that strength element then. And then as you get closer to the race, they both start coming together. So as you get closer, the strength will start like dropping off and going more into like muscular endurance, doing like longer lunges, wall balls, box jumps, burpees, running, more like race threshold intervals, 1K intervals, whatever you want to do, coming up until race day, where you peak for race day. And obviously whatever way it is, depending on what side of the spectrum you're on, basically you want to meet in the middle, which is race day, and you want to peak for race day. But just want to put a first long form content video out for you guys, just babbling on. If you're in the space, you've probably heard all this rubbish before, but if you're new to the sport, hopefully this helped you. Like I said, please hit that like button, and if you have anything, topics, movements, etc. you want to touch on, chuck them in the comments, please. And I'll start chucking more long-form content out for you guys like this. Like I said, programming, I'll probably dive more in depth into that for you guys. Like programming, like gym conditioning pieces, strength conditioning pieces, stuff like that. And then we'll also look at movement efficiencies, technique, training methods, stuff like that in other videos as well. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.